So today I want to make a full review of the OnePlus 3T. You probably have seen two videos already. That is a quick review and an unboxing video on the OnePlus 3T. But today, after using this smartphone for more than a week, let me tell you what I think about the smartphone in more detail. So I'd like to start with the software. So I'm currently charging it right now, and the phone overall is pretty good. And the software is pretty amazing. It's almost a stock Android experience, and you see how fast the fingerprint is. It's just amazing. The animation is great. Everything is super responsive on the smartphone, and I absolutely love it. The only thing I'm worried or I kind of don't like about this software is probably, in the Google Pixel or the Samsung S8, if you want to open the app page for all your apps, it always is a swipe up, but on this smartphone, it's not. On this smartphone, you have to, sorry everyone, you have to press this middle things. Did you see that? You have to press these things to open all the app page. You cannot swipe up or swipe down to open your app page. So in me, I personally like the swiping, that kind of things, much better than pressing a physical button, which means that I just cannot put an app here. If I don't have this button, I can put an extra app down to here. So that will be a little bit more convenience. So that is the only thing I don't like. And the OnePlus makes some minor change based on their stock Android version. For example, you see if you clear the app, it's down here. Clear the app. If you clear all the app and notification, is both the same thing. And if you swipe to the left, you can see it's a very clean page with all the things you need, the frequently used app, and like your battery, like your time and data you remain, and your available storage, and I can add widget to that page. It's pretty convenient. It's like the iOS 10 when you swipe back and you see a lot of widget. I think that is amazing design. And yeah, that's pretty cool. I love the change of the OnePlus 3T on these minor details. And yeah, overall the software part, I would say it's amazing. It's run really smooth. I think the OnePlus had an amazing job on making the Android looks good, feels good, use good on these devices. And then I'd like to talk about the hardware. Well, there's pretty much nothing I need to talk about for this hardware because every one of you knows that the Snapdragon 821 is an amazingly fast chip with 6 gigabytes of RAM. So that and 128 gigabytes of storage. So that is possibly the most powerful you can find on the market right now. Except the new 835 Snapdragon processor by Samsung S8, that kind of. But overall, it's amazing. All the things you normally can do, like playing games, like using apps, any kind of apps, I would say it will be pretty smooth. The performance is great. It's amazing. You cannot do anything with these kind of high. You cannot make any criticism on these kind of high spec. It's just so great. So yeah, so you shouldn't worry about the performance at all because this is just a top spec smartphone. And the 6 gigabytes of RAM really have a great impact on your app RAM management. You can keep a lot of app at the background without shutting it down, so you can always switch it back and it's still there. You don't have to reload it, and it really saves time if you're a multitasking person or if you use a lot of app at the background. And I would say that the switching app, it's really convenient and it's really responsive. The RAM management is pretty solid on these devices. And it really did a better job than majority of 4 gigabytes of flagship smartphone. So I would say this is a really great advantages for the OnePlus 3T. So that is the performance part. I would say it's definitely great. And then I want to talk about one serious issue on the smartphone. It's the battery. I don't think this smartphone have a great solid battery, in my opinion. Although it has definitely a 400 milliamp upgrade for more 400 milliamp more battery than the OnePlus 3, but this stuff has 3,400 milliamp battery. But in the real life experience, I won't say it's like that good. It's not comparable to the iPhone 7 Plus. I use iPhone 7 Plus and the battery life is very solid, and I can use it for a full day starting from 7 a.m. to the 10 p.m. at night. But this device, I would say you can start using from 7 a.m. but until like 6 to 7 p.m. it will die. You're not getting like that much of battery as the iPhone 7 Plus. I think this is probably a software issue on the Android 7.0, and I believe that Google will definitely make a huge improvement on the battery management on the next generation Android, which is Android 8.0, launching this summer or this fall. So I would say that if you really are a smartphone heavy users, I really don't recommend you for getting this smartphone because the battery is just not that great. It's still kind of good. I would say okay to good. It's not amazing. So the battery on this device is not that great, fantastic. It's not fantastic. But the thing that is fantastic is this dash charging. The dash charging is really one of the fastest charging technology standard I have ever seen. From 0% to 100%, you can do it under 1 hour and 30 minutes. That is around 90 minutes. I think that is a really fast speed. It's faster than majority of Android smartphone, majority of Android flagship, and it's faster than the iPhone. Of course, the iPhone is probably the slowest charging smartphone in the world right now. So this phone, although the battery is a little bit worry for me, but I think the charging is amazing. So I start charging my phone like just 20 to 30 minutes ago. From 0%, it's already at 40%. So you can get 40% of charge within 20 minutes. So that was a thumbs up for OnePlus to create such a cool charging technology. So that is the thing. So then I like to talk about camera, and everyone knows about camera. Everyone knows you cannot expect too much from a mid-price smartphone and a budget smartphone like this one. But I would say this camera is definitely not the best at all. But I would say it's a good camera. If you're not like a passion person on photography, if you're not using smartphone to create like really good videos or photos, I would say this camera should be okay for majority of people, for majority of people who don't use cameras that often. But if you're really passionate about making photography or shooting great video or great photo on a smartphone, I recommend you get an iPhone 7 Plus, Google Pixel, probably LG G6, probably Samsung S8, but not this one. So this one is slightly behind these four flagship, but consider its price and how real-time use it is. It's pretty a great camera. It's a good camera. It's a good camera on a mid-price smartphone. And if you shoot in the dark, like in the night, this camera doesn't perform that well. The image is not clear, it's not very bright, so it's just not doing very well under night or under dark condition. The front-facing camera is pretty solid. It's a 16 megapixel front-facing camera, so it should be fine for most people. I'm not personally taking selfie a lot, so I don't have an experience on the front-facing camera. I would say it should be okay. And the camera on the back is also a 16 megapixel camera, and you have to make sure that one thing is, if you want to take a great image, please hold this device steady. If you like not holding it steady, it will get blurred pretty much on every photos. So make sure that. I don't think they make a pretty great job on optical image stabilization. So please make sure that you hold this device steady when taking photos, especially in the dark situation. So that is the only thing I want to say for the camera. And other than that, I would say the OnePlus is a really smart company. I really love this button. This button allows you to actually switch between do not disturb mode, completely muted mode, and the normal mode. It's a very app switching. You don't have to go to notification center to switching. It's super easy. You just swipe it. You just swipe it to whatever mode you want. I think that is really convenient. And sometimes you really don't want a sound to come out and then whoa, and it suddenly come out. So you want to mute it very, very quickly. So you can quickly just switch it. The physical button is much faster than a software switch or a switch in a notification. So I think OnePlus, this is probably a great part of OnePlus on making their device looks different from the smartphone, and I like it. And I also want to mention for the notifications, not a notification center at this moment, but I want to say for the display. This is a 1080p Full HD AMOLED display, and it's not 2K, but if it's 2K, I'm pretty sure that it would drain battery much faster than 1080p. But for 1080p display, I would say this is a really great display. It is a really great AMOLED display. The thing looks nice, looks clear. If you don't go very close, you won't see any pixel at all. Even if you go really close, you probably won't see any pixel. So I would say this resolution should fit majority of people, should be okay for majority of people. If you're not super important, if you think if you think that a display is super important for you, I won't recommend this one. You can get a lot of 2K smartphone like Samsung one, like LG probably. You can get 2K display from them, but 1080p should be okay for majority of people because this is just a 5.5-inch display. So then I want to talk about the design. Overall, the design of this smartphone is pretty solid. I got a midnight black version, and I also got a sandstone cases. It still looks stunning. It's a full black. I love everything that is black, and the matte black looks pretty good. It's probably a really sexy smartphone. And you see, you do have a home button. And this, you cannot press into it. You can just put your finger on it and just touch it. This is not a pressable button, but it still have a pretty great feedback. The feedback is not as great as iPhone 7 Plus on the iPhone, but it's a really nice feedback. So you know everything you want to know. You know that you press it, you know you unlock it. So these feedbacks pretty great. So yeah, that's it. What I think about a smartphone. And if you imagine that you can get this device for under 600 to 700 Canadian dollars, I would say awesome. This is a really great mid-price smartphone, and I think I definitely love it. And yeah, if you looking for a great smartphone right now and you don't have that much money for getting a flagship smartphone like Samsung S8 or iPhone 7 Plus or Google Pixel, then get this one. This phone should be great, amazing, stunning for majority of people. So that's it, a little bit longer review for the OnePlus 3T. I hope you like it. And thank you very much, everyone. I'm not an expert reviewer, so bear with me. Just bear with me. I love your comments. Give me feedback. I will read it. And that's it. Everyone, have a fantastic weekend and happy Earth Day. Bye.